Hey everyone, welcome. Welcome to another episode of the Wake Up Call. This is Dr. Jeff LaCure, and today we go into step 5 of my 10-part series on how to achieve health, happiness, and healing. And again, I just continue to be so very excited about these 10 steps, and I promise you, if you follow them, if you're pretty happy, you'll be really happy. If you're unhappy, you're going to feel what happiness feels like. And you'll notice there's a theme in many of these episodes that it involves doing something with someone. We're social beings. And so step 5 today is make out with your partner 3 times a week. 3 times a week. I'm not talking about the statutory, obligatory kiss goodbye and kiss hello. That's not even a kiss. I mean, that's something you do with your crazy grandma Helen, who you never wanted to have kiss you on the lips. So that ain't a kiss. That's I don't know what that is. I'm talking about a make-out session. And you know I love to bring the science into the equation, because so many of you out there are doubters, which is why I look forward to week 10, episode 10, which is stop making excuses, because you're already making excuses. I see it, I feel it, I sense it. So here's the science. Kissing somebody you really care about, somebody that you're attracted to, somebody that you have strong feelings for, somebody that you have wonderful chemistry with, it releases all the feel-good chemicals in the brain. It releases oxytocin, which increases our feel-good, and it increases our bond and our connection with those people we care about. Which is why I said, right, week 3, you got to find your soulmate. Right? I don't want you just making out with some random stranger. I'm not recommending a hookup. As a matter of fact, I'm not recommending a hookup at all. You're all adults. You do what works for you, and I guess there's room in people's lives for those, but they're not really fulfilling. Maybe feel good for a little while. Nice to feel cared about. I'm talking about making out with somebody you just feel great about. And if you're not doing it, you got to do it. And again, as I mentioned, the science proves our body releases feel-good chemicals, and I want to give you some more science. Women here, as I talked about last week, and men here at our top lip between our nostrils down, men have a lot of nerves there, but women have 2.5 times the nerve endings here. And to my brothers out there, if you really want to up your game in the romance, the physical romance department, you got to be an artist. You have to be an artist. You have to be a makeout artist. Notice I'm not saying a kissing artist. Kissing, I don't know what that is. I'm talking about making out. I'm talking about the intensity, the passion, the urgency, the hunger that sometimes comes with that. And for all of you out there in a relationship, you know when you were dating, that was a regular part of the experience. And it was an amazing part of the experience. Number one complaint I hear from women in my private practice over the years when they're talking about their long-term relationships, he doesn't kiss me anymore. And to the guys out there, you're a loser. There, I'm going to say it. I'm just going to call you what you are. If you're not making out with your wife or your partner or your girlfriend or whatever, distinction you have and what you call her, you're a loser. And what I mean is you're going to lose her affection, you're going to lose her connection, you're going to lose her respect. Seriously. Women want a guy who can have make-out game, knows what he's doing, is passionate about it, and is eager to be part of that. And women, again, women are like men. They can have the one-nighters and all these other interesting experiences. I'm not here to dog on those. However, women really get much more physically aroused when first they're emotionally aroused, and then they get really aroused via kissing. It's the link It's the Willy Wonka golden ticket, right? You need the ticket to get into Willy Wonka's candy factory. I love where I'm headed with this, by the way. You need the golden ticket to get into Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. I'm just going to sit here and smile at you for a second because I want you to use that metaphor, gentlemen. You have the golden ticket. Feel free to use it from time to time. As a matter of fact, 3 times a week. And please don't tell me you don't have time. So women are wired. It's in their DNA. It's part of their genetics. That a very important part of establishing trust and connection with their partner is a really healthy makeout session. Women are hardwired. Their bodies respond to it, head to toe, when a guy is really good at kissing. I want you to be a ninja when it comes to kissing. This is to my brothers. I want you to be a ninja when it comes to making out. I want her to go, huh. You want to hear her go, huh. You want to hear, huh, a lot. Or my personal favorite, I know someone out there is going to smile, oh my. You want an oh my moment. And if you think going for the goods right off the jump is going to get your partner fired up, nope, you're in for an evening or a morning or an afternoon, not my thing. You're in for an afternoon of disappointment. So spend time connecting via kissing. You're hardwired as men and women to do that. You really are. You are hardwired to do it. Now, this is an interesting fact, but I like to bring interesting facts to you. This one might be one of the most interesting facts, and I don't even know how many episodes I've done. I'll say 40, give or take, right? This might be the most interesting scientific fact I could give you. Prostitutes either charge substantially extra for making out, or they don't do it. Let me repeat that to you. Prostitutes of all caliber, I'm talking about $1,000 an hour, and I know a lot of you going, Jeff, how do you know the rates? Hey, I'm making it up. All right, I'm making it up. Whatever they're charging, for whatever services they're providing between 2 consenting adults, there I said it, they either charge substantially extra for kissing and making out, or they flat out, it's not on their menu. And you all know why. I'm going to give you 4 seconds to ponder it, and then I'm going to tell you, because I know some of you watch this with your friends. I appreciate that feedback. Why do prostitutes either they don't do it, or they're going to charge a serious bank to do it? Other things you'd think they charge more for. Wrong. All right, there's the dramatic pause. That one felt good. That gave me butterflies. They don't do it because it's one of, if not the most intimate physical act between 2 caring people. Think about it. Your faces are here. It's really intimate. Let me say it again. It's really intimate. And so if you want your partner to feel great, right, start with and build up with wonderful intimacy. Do it. You used to. You probably used to sit on a couch or in your car or on a walk, and I'm going to date myself on this, or in a movie theater, and you didn't watch the movie. You just made out. And then you'd say, huh, or, oh my. Well, if you're lacking, oh my, in your home, if you're lacking emotional intimacy in your home, 3 times a week. Remember, Dr. Jeff's 10 steps to healing, health, and happiness. You got to make out at least 3 times a week. Am I cool if you do it once a week? You better believe it. And guys, it doesn't count if it's halftime of a game. All right, honey, come on over. No. It's got to matter. It's got to be important. I'm going to get a little graphic here. Not overly graphic. It's a PG-13 show. Stop trying to get me to push the envelope. I know who you are out there, you envelope pushers, you. PG-13, but I am going to get a little graphic with it because I want to make sure you know. So bottom line is, right, when it comes to connecting with your partner 3 times a week, you're going to feel closer to each other. Small things won't get blown out of proportion. We also know, God, it's amazing what making out does for our health. It jacks up your immune system. It jacks it up. All you folks, I almost said something else, all you folks out there that are battling high blood pressure, that are battling diabetes, particularly type 2, that are battling diseases of lifestyle, cut it out. Get healthy, find someone to love, and make out with them, and watch what it does to your immune system. Watch what it does to how good you feel. You get a high. A great makeout session will release so many feel-good chemicals in the brain that you're high. And you don't need to go to rehab. You're high. All right, I tell you what, don't do that. Keep drinking to excess. Keep using drugs. Just use over-the-counter medications. Go ahead. Seriously. Go ahead. Make excuses. Get high. Get high with chemicals. Or you can get high making out. I suggest you get high making out. It is wonderful for your relationship. And here's the question I ask all the couples I work with in my private practice in beautiful downtown Holliston for all your emotional needs. I ask couples, though, and I ask the guy this question every time, not every session, but as part of our getting to know each other, as I'm formulating what's going on in their home and why they're here to see me, I ask them, when's the last time you grabbed your wife and you threw her up against the wall, you pressed her against the wall, and you kissed her like you meant business? You kissed her like you couldn't resist her. You kissed her like she was the prettiest girl you ever saw. You kissed her because you care. And you know what happens probably 95% of the time? The wives look at them and go, yeah, when's the last time? When's the last time? I want you to pause right now in your own world. If you're not with somebody, go back to step 3, watch episode 3, and figure out how to find your soulmate. He or she's out there. They're beautiful, they're wonderful, they're kind, they're loving. They're going to give you that extra 20% that's missing from your life. And if you learn how to make out really effectively, you'll keep them. Your relationship will be exciting. It's one of the coolest things you'll do. So again, gentlemen, when's the last time you pressed her up, your significant other? Significant, my ass. If she's significant, you don't even need to watch this show because you're already doing it. I should have you on the couch right next to me because you're already doing it. But you're not doing it because, as I told you, it's the first thing I hear that goes in people's relationships. Is they stop one of the most important ways as human beings we connect with the people that we are romantically in love with. It makes us high in such a good way. It's great for our immune system. It builds antibodies. Gentlemen, guess what else it does? It increases your testosterone. Episode 2, get your butt in the weight room. Boost your testosterone and watch what happens. You're going to put on more muscle. That's right, I did a semi-flex right there. You know why? It's my show, my rules. I'm sure there'll be cards and letters because everybody writes, right? Stop flexing on camera. No, I ain't going to stop flexing on camera. You know why? It's my segment. You don't like it? Don't tune in. Matter of fact, the person not tuning in after I just went like this, you know what? You ain't making out with anybody. So there you go. This show wasn't for you. See, I'm trying to build you, help you, create you into a position where you could be the top 1%. One of the last shows I'm going to do is what it means to be in the top 1%. It's actually all 10 steps. But you're not making out. You're not doing it 3 times a week. I don't get it. Like, honestly, I'm going to say it. If you're not making out at least once a week, why are you even with that person? Seriously. Like, seriously. You know, if you want to have a friend, I get it. You know, I'm not making out with my friends. If you want to have a roommate, I get it. I'm not making out with my roommate. If you guys are happy, you're not. Co-parenting, okay, deal. The only reason you should still be in a make out free zone relationship is financial. And even then I question you, because you can't be the top 1%. You can't. I'm telling you right now. You could do a lot of these other steps, but if you're not, and I'm talking about kissing, if you're not physically intimate with your partner with some consistency, right, I don't know what you got. Because that's a natural urge we have. That's a natural urge we have as human beings. And let me highlight this for you too. Because obviously by talking about making out, love that term, makes me feel like I'm 16. Hey, stop saying I look old. But it makes me feel 16 to do it. Kissing, I don't know, doesn't sound as exciting, because it's not. I kind of lost my train of thought because I was thinking about what it's like to be 16. But here's the bottom line. Women are very aroused. They feel cared for. They feel connected to their partner on what they hear. If they hear that you care, you show, gentlemen, that you care, you show that you adore them, you show them that she's the prettiest woman in the world or in the room, inside and out. Notice I said inside too. Her interest in making out with you increases. And to all my sisters out there, I want you to understand how your guy is hardwired, and he is hardwired this way. And you make a lot of mistakes. See, I made fun of the dudes because they're not pressing you up against the wall. But you are doing some things, ladies, that make us not want to press you up against the wall. PG-13. Hell, I went PG-15 on that one. Even freshmen in high school are going, Dr. LeCure, I can't believe you just said that. I did. Men fall in love with their eyes. That's what we do. You walk into a room and you look like we like you to look, we're looking. We're looking. Now, I don't want to be overly dramatic, but I like to bring a little drama to it. You know, I've mentioned to you my girlfriend Christine, a.k.a. Bidet, spelt B-E-D-A-Y, in case any of you are thinking it's a French toilet. She ain't a French toilet. It's a cool nickname. She walks into a room. Look, I'm actually shaking my head. She's going to laugh when she sees this. I do. I have a reaction. She tries. She gets date night ready. Oh my God, does she get date night ready? I like to think I get date night ready. But see, guys fall in love with their eyes. And when we see date night ready, we're ready. And ladies, I'm going to tell you, when you're in long-term relationships, the number one complaint I hear from men, and I hear it from all men, so I know it's true. It's not like two dudes, right? Some dude named Jose and Phil. How's that for covering the spectrum? It's all dudes. Of all ages, if they're in long-term relationships, their number one complaint is she doesn't try. She doesn't do her hair. She doesn't do makeup, whatever that means, because everybody goes in their own variety. She doesn't dress a certain way. We go on a date to wherever we're going on a Friday or Saturday night, and it looks like she's going to Market Basket, not a sponsor, but if you've ever been at one, you know what I mean. Nobody looks good in that store. Nobody. The people who work there, the person who runs it, the people in the parking lot, and every customer. They're not date night ready. But if you look like you're about to go to Market Basket and you're doing it on a Saturday, you're telling your boyfriend or your husband or your fiance, I don't care. I don't care anymore to look good for you. And I don't know what happened first. I don't know if he stopped kissing you first. I don't know if he stopped pressing you up against the wall. Or if you, to my sisters, stopped trying. But you put those two together, a dude who's not throwing you up against the wall and a woman who stops trying, you got no shot. Your date night is going to be Applebee's, 2 for $25. He's got his hat on backwards. He's wearing a hoodie. He's wearing jeans that don't fit. And your hair says, I don't care. That's right, I did a rhyme. But every woman in this who's watching this podcast knows what I don't care hair. Let me try it again. What I don't care hair looks like. And guys, pick up on that. Guys, pick up on that. We are selfish. Ladies, we are selfish. It's in our DNA. We're looking. And we want to have you on our arm where we're like, wow. Not like, wow, she didn't even try. He has no interest in throwing you up against the wall, let alone 3 times a week. So you both got to try. You both it's not effort. My girlfriend and I, we were actually talking last night into the wee hours. God love her. She had an 8 o'clock Zoom meeting, not a sponsor. And we're talking till like 1:30, which, by the way, is part of my 10 steps because I think week 7 is going to be pillow talk. So we're having phenomenal pillow talk about a lot of things, everything but pillows. We're talking, but we're on pillows and we're talking. And you know what we talked about? How we both, when we're getting ready to see each other, and we see each other a lot during the week. Why? Because our relationship is a priority. Our health is a priority. Our emotional health is a priority. We both acknowledged that when we're getting ready and we look in the mirror, these 2 things happen every time. And here's what I said to her. Do I like what I'm wearing? Do I feel good in what I'm wearing? Because, see, if I feel good in what I'm wearing, that message goes out into the world, but more importantly to her. And then equally as important, I say to myself, so, would Christine like this? Would Christine think I look good in this? Would Christine want to give me a big hug? Would Christine not want to leave the house? And you know what I found out? She does the same thing. She looks in the mirror and she says, hey, do I like what I'm wearing? And will Jeff like what I'm wearing? Ask yourselves if you do that. And I promise you, if you're not making out 3 times a week, you don't care anymore, ladies and gentlemen, what you wear. And I'm going to encourage you, do some social science. I'm a social scientist, right? Do some social science and go out on a Friday night with your loved one. And this is a mission. And I want you to look good, right? But I want you to just notice all the couples there. And notice the couples who no longer care. You could tell by how they're dressed. You could tell because they're sitting in a booth or at the bar or at a table, at a high-top table, and they're both looking at their phones. Number 2 biggest complaint I hear about why couples aren't making out? They bring their cell phones to bed. What kind of fool brings their cell phone to bed? You know what? Ladies and gentlemen, have fun making out with this, because that's what you're destined to do. You know, if it wasn't so disgusting, because I don't even know where I've laid my cell phone, I'd start kissing this phone. Not deeply. It's a PG show. Really? You're going to bring this to bed? Ladies, you're going to wear like gross socks and nasty plaid pajama bottoms and a sweatshirt and expect your boyfriend or fiance or husband to go, yay, yay, yes, oh my God, I'm so attracted to you. Another mistake. Dudes, seriously? You're going to go to bed in black socks and tighty-whities and a t-shirt and think she's going, come on over here, big boy, I got news for you. It's not going to happen. And you all know, every one of you in podcast land, you know. You know, back in the day you used to try. Back in the day you used to care. You know, I do really well hourly. It's a really wonderful profession that I've been blessed and privileged to do. But I'm going to give you a little secret. If you follow this 10-step plan as a couple, you'll never need me. Isn't that weird? I don't get paid anything for coming into the studio. God love the people here. They're great people, right? They're great people. This entire Milford community, this community television, great people. They're out there giving a lot of people a voice and an opportunity to hear a variety of information from a variety of perspectives, right? So it's not like I'm making buku bucks when I'm here. I make nothing. I can only imagine what their salaries are here, right? Important job, but I can only imagine what their salaries are. So they're here for the love of the game. They're here because they want to bring you content, a variety of content. But what I'm telling you will put me out of business. But you don't care. You're an Ozempic using I don't care. Hell, I'd just rather do this than live a healthy lifestyle. I'd rather bring my phone to bed than really connect with my partner. So I begin to wrap it up. I'll get out of my pulpit. I'll get off my podium. I'll step off my soapbox. If you're not making out with your partner 3 times a week, or at least 1 time a week, I don't know why you're still together. Seriously, I don't get it. I don't get it. You don't get it. You are a settler. You settle. You settle. You are not the 1%. You will never be the 1%. Maybe you don't strive to be that. I don't know why you wouldn't strive to be the best you can be, because that's what it means. The 1% isn't compared to everybody else. The 1% is they are at their peak. They are at their best. They are at their 1%. They're there. Right? I'm not comparing myself to other. I'm 1%. But I'm not comparing myself to other people. I'm at my best with all my flaws, because I acknowledge them. But you guys are settlers. I know you're settlers. I know you already turned this off probably 10 minutes ago because you don't want to hear it anymore. You already had a million excuses. Or you looked across and saw your husband in his tighty whities and black socks, and you dry heaved. And I don't blame you. I've seen him. Oh, I've seen him. It ain't a pretty picture. Dudes, why did you let yourself go so that you now look like a woman who's 8 months pregnant? Help me understand that. How is she supposed to find nirvana when she can't find nirvana, if you know what I mean? Because you let yourself look 8 months pregnant. What message did you deliver to your spouse or your girlfriend or your partner? And it's not all about looks, but looks matter. What message? Look at your wedding pictures. You didn't look 8 months pregnant. And I guarantee for both of you as men and women, in your vows, you didn't say, hey, you know what? I hope down the road we stop kissing. I hope we let ourselves go. I hope I have I don't care hair. I hope I wear black socks to bed. I hope you wear Ugg slippers to bed. I hope you wear a nasty white, and you know what I'm talking about, ladies, this nasty white, huge bathrobe with slippers in the summertime, and expect your dude to get fired up. So as we wrap, you guys ask yourself, ladies and gentlemen, these 2 questions. Ladies, ask yourself, why isn't he throwing me up against a wall? If you're at the sink, and I'm just using that as an example, I'm not trying to be stereotypical or sexist, not my dance. If you're at the sink, if he's not coming up and nibbling on your neck, if he's not giving you the courtesy of the reach around, you got to ask yourself, not just him, what are you not doing? Gentlemen, if the same thing isn't happening to you, she's not coming up behind you when you're at the sink. She's not smacking your backside. Yeah, you can wonder about her, but you better look in the mirror and ask yourself, do you do the things that you need to do, ladies and gentlemen, to keep yourself attractive to your partner? You ought to know what kryptonite is to every relationship. Take each other for granted. That's relationship kryptonite. Stop trying. Go to Home Depot on a Saturday night, not a sponsor. Like, do some investigative reporting and go to Lowe's, Home Depot, and Walmart on a Friday or Saturday night and show me one person who looks happy there. Show me one couple that you would change places with as they're buying drywall or a thing of water, for a 35 pack of water loaded with plastic. Yeah, they look real happy. And then go look in the mirror and see what you're not doing. And then you too can find out why you're not happy. I want you to make out with the person who excites you, your soulmate, your lover, your dream girl or boy, and watch how wonderful your life is. Watch how well you sleep at night. Watch how good you feel, and you will feel. I'm Dr. Jeff LaCure, and this has been your wake-up call. I'll see you next week.